everybody, my name is Nicola and I am simply a stitcher. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. It's lovely to have you. I have noticed a jump in subscribers recently, and if you are a returning viewer, then of course welcome back. This is my fortnightly Flosstube video, which is usually interspersed with a stitch with me on the opposing week, and I have an update with you and 5 work in progress, 5 projects to show today. So I'm not going to hang around. It's 7:45 in the morning. I've got to work in a little while, and let's get through the stitching and show you what we've been doing, and then we'll have a quick life update afterwards. So what have I been doing in this last fortnight? Well, like I said, I've touched 5 projects, and let me show you the first one. Screen rotation on that be better. I'm organised as ever. So the first one is this one. It's a Heaven and Earth design, and it's the Freebie Maui Princess by Hannah Lynn, and I'm stitching this one on 25 count 1/1 full cross. And as promised, I've taken all my pieces out of the frames this week as well. So as you can see, I've now filled in the arm that I'd outlined the arm last week, and I've now completely filled it in. And there you go, you can see the whole, pretty much the whole thing. It's not ironed or anything, you know, but who could be that organised, eh? Certainly not me. It's got the full width here, and we're not quite down to the full length yet, but as you can see, there's exciting times for this one coming, because hopefully we'll start to get to a face. And just to show that little bit again of where I did stitch, there is the arm, and it's, believe it or not, that's about a dozen different colours. So yeah, very happy with that. That stargazer, the lily at the top on the head, is now also complete. So in terms of progress on this piece, last month it was at 30.66%, and this month it's now up to 31.58%, and I worked on it for 2 full days. So out of the 2 weeks, I keep saying month, but you do hear me say month, just sort of slot it in your mind that it's not month, it's week. So in the last 2 weeks I've put on, you know, a few stitches, and that one I worked on it a couple of days, so probably around about 2,000 stitches. What have we got next? Ooh. That's the bag for her. What have I got next? Oh. Next one I have, oh yes, it is my Middle Earth Travel Poster series, the second one, and I was asked about these. Am I planning to do them all? The answer is yes. slowly though, because there's like 10. I mean, this is the second one, and I'm hoping to reduce the number of works in progress that I've got. So I want to try and finish 2 before I start another one. 2 projects before I start another one, because I've got like 9 work in progresses now, which I know for a lot of people isn't a lot. I've been following a lady on Instagram who is into the 80s in her works in progress, but it doesn't sit well with me to have you know, more works in progress than there are days in the week. So here's the mock-up. So this one is Welcome to Minas Tirith, and I've actually got quite a bit of working on this one this fortnight. We were at 15.54%. No, we weren't. Wrong month. We were at 28.85%. We are now at 46.61. So just to show you now what this looks like. So as you can see, we are going down the we're working this one from the top down. Last one I worked was Mordor from the bottom up. This one going from the top down, and the mountains are almost finished, and we're working on putting in the city sort of underneath, and it's interspersed with quite a lot of green. So yeah, quite happy with that one. I love it. It's a nice piece to stitch. It's on 18 count Magic Guide, stitch 2 over 1 full cross. So some significant progress on that one. So the next one I've got is the only one that isn't out of its frame, because it doesn't need to be. It pretty much covers the whole, the frame pretty much shows you the whole piece in the frame. This one is my GeckoRouge kit. It's the Gecko Gem #1 of 2022, and it is L is for Lamb, designed by Miss Cherry Martini, and that is what this little cutie looks like. And last month we were working towards a face, and I've got a little bit of working on this one. We were at 48.19%, and now we're up to 56.47%. I only worked on it for the one day, but as you can see, we now have a face, and I'm now working up towards you know, this other bow, and then I'll start to put on the back and the tail and the back hooves. So I'm hoping that this one is going to be one of the next things that does get finished. So yeah, happy with that. Just put this one away where I can, keep it tidy. Okay, so the next one I have is my other Heaven and Earth design, the one where I'm doing one of going to do all 7 in this series. I was asked last month by Tracy from Tracy's Craft House, are you doing the 2 series that I'm doing? I'm going to do them all. The answer is yes, I am going to do them all on both of them. The Middle Earth map series is about 23,000 stitches each, and these ones are about 240,000 stitches each. So there's 2 sort of huge size differences between the 2, but I do want to do both of these series. So this one is Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Marta Dahlig, and this one is the second one in the series for me, in any case. This is Envy, and if you're a regular watcher, or if you've viewed my previous videos, you will know that I have done Avarice. Avarice is complete. It took me 11 years. And Envy, again, I've taken it out of the frame so I can show you the whole thing. I am stitching this 1 over 1 full cross on 25 count Lugana. Last month we were at 4.96%. This month we are at 7.04%, and I had this out on 5 days. I didn't work it fully over those 5 days, but over 5 days in this month I did stitch on this. So that is how Envy is looking now. And as you can see, I'm working in sort of like about an 80 stitch wide column. I think it's about 80 stitches wide, and then I'm just working down the column, picking a thread and filling in all the colour, and then working, you know, there's the uppermost stitch that's empty, and then filling it in. So as you can see, I've got lots of stitches down here. So yeah, and as you can see, those ivy leaves are just lovely. So lots of different greens and blue shades in there. So that is Envy. Very pleased with how this one is coming along, and I have to say, I mean, I said the same about Avarice. It's a lovely stitch. It's just that it's going to be a large piece. It's like 400 wide by 600 high, type of thing. So yeah. And then the last thing I have to show you will be my stitching shelf. Last month it was a new start on a 25 count even weave, and I got up to 0.93%, and I've worked on it throughout the last fortnight. I might have put in 100 stitches one day, a couple of hundred another, but I can't work any more than sort of 500-600 stitches per day on this piece, because there's a lot of colour changes, and 500 stitches doesn't feel like a lot of progress, although it is. It doesn't feel like a lot of progress at the moment, so it's one of those. Anyway, I have taken it out of the frame so I can show you it in all its sort of glory. As I was talking about on my Stitch With Me, if you've not seen that, pop back and have a look. I'm working this one on a variation of Stitching Mommy's typewriter method, whereas Stitching Mommy takes it one individual row at a time, and then takes the left stitch, the most left uppermost stitch, and then stitches it in, you know, kind of thing. I'm working this one in a 10 deep grid block, however you want to call it, and doing it with the left uppermost stitch, and then sort of working my way along, and I'm going along the top, and then I'll take the second row and I'll go along the second row, but I'm not sticking just to that 10 by 10 sort of squares across the thing. If I do go into the blocks underneath, that's, you know, that's fine. I'm not upset about that kind of thing. So for those of you who've not seen this piece, this is the mock-up for it, and I am doing the regular version, regular size, max colour version, hence why there's quite a lot of confetti. I am not far away from halfway across the top now. Like I said, I'm doing about sort of maximum of 500 stitches per day on this, but I'm about halfway across the top. So that is the top left, so it's the upper left square, and then as we go along here, you can see that the top 10 by 10 row of blocks, if you like, is filled in, and you'll see that somewhere sort of around here, just bend that back, just fold it over, hold on, fabric wrangling. So you see that somewhere around here we've got some gaps, so I'll pick up my next thread, the left uppermost one, work it in. If like say for example this block didn't have any of that colour in, but this one underneath did, I'd just drop down and work in that box and then rejoin the top, kind of thing, which it seems to be working, and you know, I'm quite happy with that. I mean, I know a lot of people are working this left to right, and they're doing sort of top to bottom, left to right, whereas I'm doing left to right. You know, I don't know how to describe it. People are going left to right, but doing the whole thing sort of the top through to the bottom, so that the whole column is going across. I'm doing it so that it's left to right, but in rows going down. So it's just another way for me to look at it. And I've got some park threads on it, not because I wanted to park them, but simply because of a frame limitation. My frame is only about, I think it's a 12-inch across, but my actual stitched area is about 8 inches, and if I know that I've got stitches in that colour further along, I'll just park them and then pick them up next time I move the frame, type of thing, which is what I did on my Stitch With Me, if you've seen that. So excuse me, so that's it. That is all the stitching done and out of the way. So the plans for the next fortnight is I'm going to just carry on doing what I've been doing, carry on picking out a project and changing it. I haven't turned the vibrate function off on my phone, so if you hear that, I'm really sorry. Excuse me. Just plan on picking them up and changing projects every 2 or 3 days. At the moment I've got Stitching Jules as one on the frame, the pole bear and cub. but as it's the start of the next fortnight, you'll not get to see that now until the next session. I'm going to have a look and see, because I'm doing a Stitch With Me next week. Not quite sure what work in progress that I'm going to sort of pop on the frame for that. I'm thinking potentially the Realm of Middle Earth again, because that sort of seemed to be a popular video. I was going to do a second Stitch With Me this week, but unfortunately the utilities company decided to come and put a telegraph pole right outside my window and made a horrific noise. So there was no way that was going to happen. And I know I'll not get a chance to this week because Andy is here on Friday. I normally sort of try and do my Stitch With Me's when there's nobody in the house, or people are in but upstairs sleeping. If Andy is in, he's literally sat in the corner over there, just tap, and all you can hear is the tap 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 of keys, which is not, pleasant. It's not pleasant without Stitch With Me videos, the truth be known, because it does get annoying. So yeah, I want to say thanks to everybody for your suggestions of things to talk about in Stitch With Me's as well. And as I said, if I do put out an extra Stitch With Me, it'll probably be with a brief introduction and then some music over the stitching, or just simple ASMR, just literally stitching noises. But and that's kind of it. I think that's everything. Excuse me. Brief life update. How's it going? How's it going in life? Busy working. Had a bank holiday here in the UK yesterday, so I had my best stitchy day that I've had in a while. Even though I was out a couple of times, I went out in the morning to do a bit of shopping, went out in the afternoon for tea. I still managed to get like 1,500 stitches in, which is quite good for me at the moment, because it means I'm struggling to get into 1,000, and I think that's mainly because of the stitching shelf, because as I said, it takes a lot of work just to get up to 500 stitches, and I'm used to doing literally 1,000 a day. I briefly touched on last year, so this next year, about my stitching plans, and I do want to try and do a bit more for me next year as well. I don't seem to do much other than work, stitch, or go out with Andy, and I want to try and do some things that are not any of those things. I want to try and do a bit more, have a bit more me time, I think, because I am sort of missing that at the moment. But anyway, so the family doing okay. Andy's doing his village idiot stuff as usual. Girls are doing fine. One started a new job today. One back in school next week. Eldest one is still doing their volunteering and things like that. But other than that, there's not really sort of much else that I can say. I don't think. Didn't buy anything apart from a magazine. Cross Stitcher magazine. I found it really hard to get. Not that I buy it every time, but I found it, the last couple of months it's been missing out of the shops, or out of my local shops anyway. But yeah, I think that's it. That's everything that I'll need to say. The only thing is just to remind you guys out there that if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. If you are subscribed, check that the notifications is on. I am over 850 subscribers now. In fact, I'm nearing 870, so I'm not far off that magic 1,000 mark. However, I do need you guys just to carry on where you can, watch a couple of videos, leave it on in the background or whatever, because it all helps my channel. And if you are new here, then thank you very much indeed for coming. I know that Jules has had me sort of tagged in her show notes for her videos, because I'm doing her polar bear at the moment. But yeah, I don't really think there's much else that's happening. It's after a hectic couple of months, it's nice to have a bit of peace and quiet, and not be unbusy. So that's it. Right, so thank you very much everybody for watching. Thank you for sticking with me and for stitching with me, and we will see you next week for a Stitch With Me. project to be decided. Kind of gearing towards Middle Earth, but might get the Maui Princess out as well. We'll have to see how it goes. Alright, so take care everybody, happy stitching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.